What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Alolan DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Now today we are going to be covering Toxapex. Since last episode I asked for a vote between Toxapex and Araquanid, which one do you want to see. Araquanid was actually the winner, however, I managed to completely forget that when I was making the video, and I made Toxapex instead. So, I don't know what to tell you, but we're having Toxapex today. But in return, in response, I will be making DataDex videos as soon as possible. I'll make it. Wait, once I've got a good amount of votes, I'll make the next one and pop it up for you. And then speaking about votes, we have for next episode's Pokemon a duel between two grass types from Alola. We have Lurantis and we have Serena. Both physical attackers, so physical grass types are coming through next episode, guys. So let me know which you see down below in the comment section by either saying Lurantis or Serena, and I promise this time I will abide by the result. I don't even know how I managed to think it was Toxapex when it's actually Araquanid, but we'll get Araquanid soon enough, guys, I promised. Anyway, let's move on and have a look at the unruly winner of Toxapex, which sort of just fits its overall theme anyway. Toxapex is number 748 in the National Pokédex and is a water poison type, as well as the Brutal Star Pokemon. It stands at 2 foot 4 inches or 0.7 meters and weighs 32 pounds or 14.5 kilograms. And in terms of breeding and gender split, it's in the Water 1 egg group and is 50-50, 50 male, 50% female. Evolution wise, evolves from Marini starting at level 38. So base stat wise, if you have a look, you can see Toxapex is a defensive monster, 152 in defense and 142 in special defense, absolutely crazy. In terms of the rest of its stats though, they're not actually that good apart from that. We have 63 in attack, 53 in special attack, 50 in health points and 35 in speed, so it's not an offensive Pokemon at all, it is pretty damn defensive. Ability wise though, is where it really picks up. We have first up Merciless, which means that if it's attacking a poisoned target, all of its attacks become critical hits. Now that sounds amazing, however of course with the low attack stats on Toxapex, we're not even really using that too much, but it's still a half decent good ability, it sounds like it at least. If it was on a more offensive Pokemon, definitely. It also gets Limber, which protects her from paralysis, but that's not really a huge thing it should worry about. But its hidden ability is the best, which is Regenerator, which means when you take it out of battle, it restores some health points, which is brilliant, because it's a bulky defensive Pokemon. So you can go down to half health, switch out, you've got basically full health again. That's just really quite good for Toxapex. So this thing is crazy. Looking at its water poison typing, it resists a total of 8 types, which are fire, water, fighting, poison, bug, ice, steel, and fairy. It only has 3 weaknesses, which are electric, ground and psychic, and it takes neutral from the other 7 types. This is an amazing typing, especially for a defensive Pokemon, because look at that. 8 resistances, it's only weak to 3 types, and those are fairly specific types. You know to switch out if there's a threat of one of those types. If you're really worried about weaknesses, it's just quite a good ability, water poison, and obviously poison allows you to get some nice poison off too, which helps out Merciless, if of course you are using Merciless. So the moves, again another point where it actually completely shines out. The first move it gets is on evolution from Marini, I don't know how you say it, but it's on evolution from Marini, and it's Baneful Bunker. Now this is very similar to King's Shield or Spiky Shield. It's a protect move, but it has an added effect. If any Pokemon attacks you when you are using Baneful Bunker, they get poisoned. So it's a free poison, you protect and you get to poison people as well, so it's quite good. And obviously we have some more poisoning moves. We have first level 13 Toxic Spikes, which obviously poisons anything that comes in with Toxic. Or we have level 21 Toxic itself, or you can also teach this via TM to poison a specific target, and we'll talk more about those choices when we get to the sets. Then we have level 25 Venoshock, or via TM again. It's only a base power 65 move, but if the target is poisoned, it doubles to 130. And remember, if it's poisoned and they have Merciless as an ability, as you get a critical hit on 130 base power move. It's pretty damn good. However, because of Toxapex's lower special attack, not brilliant. Then the one move, or the main move that actually works really well is Recover at level 33. It learns Recover. It has Recover and Regenerator and is a very bulky Pokemon. What were Game Freak thinking? Game Freak, Recover at level 33, restores half your health, pretty damn good. As well as there's one more level up move, we have level 44 Venom Drench, which reduces the target's attack, special attack and speed, and is just sort of an optional status move you can run if you are thinking sort of maybe about going for more of a, I'm gonna not do any damage, but I'm gonna be a real pain in the arse by nullifying all of your attackers. Couple TMs, we have first TM55 Scold, which is obviously water stab for you, base 80, and has a chance to burn as well, so you have paralysis, poison and burn at your disposal, ready to blast the opponent. So for physical attackers you can burn them, and anything else you can just poison them. Then one more TM is TM83 Infestation. Now this sounds like, what, but it's a base power 20 move only, it's bug type, but the idea is you infestation the target, they're stuck in battle, and you can then toxic and wait out their death basically. Then finally we have an egg move, this is Haze. This is another amazing move for Toxapex to get because Haze removes all stat changes. So if the opponent tries to set up on you, he's like, oh okay, just a bulky Toxapex, they can't do any damage to me, I'm just going to use Swords Dance, whatever, and no, you can just use Haze and all their stat changes are gone. And it's happy days for you. So overall, Toxapex gets an amazing ability for its sort of type of itself, and also amazing moves to, back it up. So what sets could we run here? Well, I'm going to go through a Merciless set, which, as I mentioned, is sort of more gimmicky. If you're going to use Toxapex, you might as well use Regenerator with it, but Merciless can have some effect, I suppose. And the second one, obviously, is Regenerator. So the first moveset is going to be Toxic or Toxic Spikes, Recover, Baneful Bunker, and then Scold or Venoshock. Ability, as I mentioned, is Merciless. Nature is going to be a bold one here. The held item could be a Black Sludge for some, innate health point restoration, or it could be an Air Balloon to allow you to avoid ground type moves until you've at least been attacked once. And then we have some EVs, maximum health points, 196 in defense, and then 60 left over, either in special defense, sort of to boost it a bit more, or into special attack if you're looking to do a bit more damage. Of course, you're not going to do much, but you could boost it a little bit. So Toxic or Toxic Spikes is your way of poisoning the opponent and then activating Merciless. You also have Baneful Bunker to do that, but you cannot rely on them actually attacking you and getting poisoned because they know you're a Toxapex. So you can either lay down Toxic Spikes if you're running that, and every Pokemon that comes in will be poisoned, and you can, not everyone, most Pokemon coming in will be poisoned, and you can then Merciless someone. Or you can just use Toxic itself if you don't want to poison everything. For example, if a physical attacker comes in, you might want to Scold it and burn it. So you might want to not have it poisoned, so Toxic might be better for specific poisoning. Recover, of course, is there to allow you to restore health points in place of Regenerator, as well as Black Sludge to support that there. And then Scold or Venoshock is a choice for you to decide. Scold, of course, is going to allow you to burn. Venoshock is going to double in power and then get a crit if you have Merciless activated. Or you could remove Baneful Bunker, because that just acts as a protect, basically. You don't want to rely on Baneful Bunker to poison the target, the opponent. You have Toxic and Toxic Spikes for that. It's more of a protect. It's if it didn't get Baneful Bunker, you would run Protect in that space, and that's all it's there for. It's just added effect is poisoning the opponent. So you could run Scold and Venoshock, and it just means you won't be able to protect every other turn, and obviously their Toxic, their poison will slowly kill them. I guess, well, obviously if you're protecting every turn, you get an extra turn in between where you're not taking any damage, so you could probably just, Baneful Bunker, recover, Baneful Bunker, recover, Baneful Bunker, and just go like that, and while they die from Toxic. Or you could, if you're not running Baneful Bunker, recover, Scold, etc. So if you want to run both attacking moves, you can, but you don't do too much damage. As I mentioned, you have a choice of held item here, Black Sludge or Air Balloon. Air Balloon is if you want to survive an earthquake, basically, or not necessarily survive it, but not take damage for it unless they attack you. And if you're running Baneful Bunker, you can then predict the attack and Baneful Bunker it, because then, they're going to get poisoned, if they're physical, of course, or, they're just not going to attack you, and your Air Balloon is going to stay happy days until, another turn, so it gives you even more time to stall them out, basically. So, that's really that set. How would you use it? You sort of, go in, you Toxic or Toxic Spikes, depending on which one you want to go for, and then you sort of just, if you've got Baneful Bunker, you do that every other turn, you recover every other turn, or however often you need to, and then you Scold or Venoshock in between, and, do some damage with your critical hits. It will be especially good if a Pokemon is, boosted their defense a lot, but apart from that, it's just a general. It's not going to be as effective as Regenerator, or as stally as Regenerator, but it can still be quite fun to use. If we then move on to the second set, which is the Regenerator set, and probably the set you'll see run most with Toxapex. We have, in terms of moves, Scold, Recover, Haze, and then the last one is a choice between Toxic, Baneful Bunker, or Toxic Spikes. Ability, as I mentioned, is Regenerator, and nature is bold again, and the held item is similar, it's Black Sludge or a Rocky Helmet for you. EVs are maximum health points, maximum defense, and the last four can be trickled into special defense or a little more into speed if you want a tiny bit more speed. It's not really a huge issue there. So what have we got? Well, Scold is to burn physical attackers, which will just completely make them do negative damage to you because you're high defense to begin with. And we have obviously Recover to restore our health points, as well as Regenerator. Haze is to remove any stat changes that come on the field to stop people setting up on you. And then the last choice is obviously a Poison choice. So you can either have Toxic to poison them manually, you can have Toxic Spikes to set them up and poison everyone, or you have Baneful Bunker to act as a protect, and then Poison being the extra bonus. So if you run Baneful Bunker, don't rely on poisoning things to kill them. You're gonna have to be a bit tricky about that. You could take Haze out and run both Toxic or Toxic Spikes and Baneful Bunker for that protect, but then of course you lose the Haze and you might get set up on, so it's really sort of what you are using in this situation. Regenerator has the ability to allow you to switch out whenever you want and you get a bit of extra health points back. So if you get in a tricky situation where oh no, I'm gonna get killed before I can recover, just switch out and get a bit more health points and recover the next turn you come in. So it's fairly simple like that. The held item choice, Black Sludge, gives you a bit of health points at the end of each turn, which gives you Black Sludge, it gives you Recover, and it gives you Regenerator to get your health points back. So if you're if you're recovering every other turn, basically every 2 turns you have 75%, maybe about that, of your health points back. So it's really quite effective, but you don't necessarily have to run it because of course you do have Recover and Regenerator to give you health point restoration, so the Black Sludge is just extra if you need it. Rocky Helmet, however, will punish any physical attackers that attack you because they will take damage themselves, and just be an extra way of dealing damage to the opponent, because let's face it, Toxapex is not going to be doing a huge amount of damage to them apart from poison and toxic, so Rocky Helmet might be a bit extra just to get it through. But I wouldn't imagine too many physical attackers going against Toxapex, especially with Baneful Bunker as a threat, so it's comme ça, almost. EV wise, as I mentioned, maximum health points of defense just gives it all the bulk. You could put maximum special defense to bring it up equal, but I think you'll probably fare more just maximizing defense. You already have pretty good special defense, it's not like you have to shore up a weakness there. And the last few, as I mentioned, just trickle it in special defense or speed. How would you use this one? Well, you go in. If poison is sort of your primary goal, I guess, because that's the main way you're going to do damage, poisoning the opponent and having them slowly die while you don't take any damage at all. Of course, if it's a physical attacker though, you might be better off holding off on the poison and going for a Scold or 2 to try and burn them, which means they will do a lot less damage for the whole battle until they get healed, in which case you can just completely stall them out by recovering and hazing and whatever else if they're burned. Or if they're a special attacker, then maybe Toxapex isn't like the number 1 choice for that, but it can still fare pretty well against it. But this thing will completely rule physical attackers till the end of the world, basically. This thing is crazy. So do let me know if you're using Toxapex or planning on using Toxapex in Wi-Fi battles in Generation 7, because I certainly will be. But of course, remember, don't forget to vote for next episode's Pokemon 2. We have Lurantis or Serena, so which grass type from Alola do you favour the most? Let me know down below by saying Lurantis or Serena, and the one with those votes will be covered next time. But for now, this is going to be it for today, so I should be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.